But we want to get to meteorologist Chris Mulcahy breaking it down to us and what we need to know today. I did see some patches of black ice driving in.
Yeah, very few around here. I think it's really more of a walking issue that something might sneak up on you. But bring up the school closures. I know a lot of kids are now actually getting ready to go to school because the 2-hour delay. But since it was a weather situation, I actually made a map for you to try to make things a little bit easier to see. So anything in the green, those kids had school because it was mainly just all rain. And even though temperatures did drop down below the freezing point, not as much black ice. Meanwhile, schools like CMS, also over to the Concord area in Cabarrus, we had Rowan, Salisbury schools that were canceled. It was much of Statesville, Iredell had the 2-hour delays, what I should have said for the last two. And the only one that stood out was really Caldwell County under a 3-hour delay, and that's also where it had a little bit more snow than, say, Burke County. And the reason why you actually see a red for Watauga is not because they had ultra bad snow totals. It was actually because they were already set for a teacher workshop day. So they are closed because of that, and now that workshop is just optional. But meanwhile, it's all remote for Ash and Avery. I feel so bad for the kids now that they can go remote, Jane.
I know.
It
breaks up the routine. You got to socialize. Yeah, it's difficult. Difficult for the families, difficult for the kids. For sure.
Well, and the main thing is like that's usually a snow day. Like so now it's like, and I understand for certain ones, and they do just still kind of throw them some bones here. But I just know for me, I'm glad that I went to school in high school where you could still have school cancellations.
A snow day.
But also, back in our day, we had to follow the very bottom of the screen to see where your school was, and then somehow I'd always miss the D's, and I would have to wait again. But anyways, what we're looking at is just mainly just a refreeze problem, and that's going to be overnight tonight for the mountains. Check it out. Our mountain snow totals that we have from this was above 6 inches for spots like Howard's Knob, Beech Mountain, so we're talking about the upper mountaintops, and then anywhere from about 3 to 4.5 inches from Todd, North Carolina to Jefferson and Ashe County. That's a decent amount of snow that fell. Meanwhile, it is quite chilly this morning. Back to freezing. It's technically freezing right now at 32 degrees, but we did match the coldest low of the season so far. On the 29th, we dropped down to 28 degrees. Well, now we have 28 for our low today, and that right there is definitely of the chilly variety. But I'm just letting you know, it is going to get a whole lot colder before you know it. And speaking of, we've been on quite the stretch. Today is going to be day number 12 of consecutive highs that are 50 degrees or colder. And what's actually substantial about this, I was looking back in history of all the different times that we've had something like this. Well, this is actually only the 52nd time that we have had 12 days in a row of this range. And what's also interesting about this one is that's never happened in November. So we started in November, and we're of course going to end it by tomorrow for December, making it a grand total of 12 days, but only 52 times. If you really think about that, how rare that is. This is the earliest we've ever done that sort of streak. Now, the biggest record is 30 days. We went 30 days in a row that were 50 degrees or colder. So that's my little stat of the day. Meanwhile, our rainfall chances are pretty much very minuscule going forward. We have dry conditions up through Saturday. We will see an isolated shower chance on Sunday, and that's where things change. So let's talk about the now. We have a high right around 40 degrees. Only around 40 degrees. We should be close to 56. So this is about 15 degrees off the mark. Another cold high, and that means through much of the day it's going to be the mid to the upper 30s. Now, we are seeing a little bit of sunshine. It's been nice to see that come out already starting off this morning, but it does look like more clouds will start to roll in. Here's an example. We actually have our Kannapolis camera back, seeing a brighter sky, but there's also some clouds that are already actively here. Other cameras that we have, like our Dallas camera, is really showing some of those low-hanging clouds, but at least we are seeing a little bit of sunshine off yonder, but we're 1,450 feet up where a lot of those clouds are living. So just letting you know, on and off throughout the day, we will have a chance for some clouds. Because here's what it looks like. Passing clouds over the next 36 hours. More move back in for your Wednesday. As for our next chance for any precipitation, it primarily looks to be the North Carolina mountains. So I think it's going to be mainly your Wednesday evening that we could have some snow accumulations heading into the Wednesday night time frame. But this does not look to work its way into the Charlotte area, but it is going to cool us down. So that cool down that we're going to have is actually going to bring us back to about 50, 51 on your Thursday. So that's the reason why we cool down. We're back up to 54 by tomorrow, the lower 50s, and then right around the freezing point again on Friday, because it often takes about 24 hours for us to really get that cool down. But then we got to talk about my pick of the week. Here, I'll backtrack. It's going to be 60 degrees this coming Saturday. That's amazing. So finally an above average day, something that we haven't had for quite some time. And it should have an ample amount of sunshine. But the deal here is your weekend is the split. That's where we have that cold front that's going to push through. 60 degrees for your Saturday, 51 on Sunday. And I think increasing clouds with a chance for rain is going to be the name of the game. So if you want to stay in and watch football, maybe you're the first round of your fantasy playoffs, congratulations. If that's you, just letting you know. But once you get to Monday, we're talking about potential lows in the teens, and we're also talking about potential highs that are going to be only around 40 degrees, much like what we have today. And our wind chills, check this out. This is showing, I think primarily this will be more so earlier in the morning, so let's move our time frame back. But we're looking at wind chills anywhere from about 5 to 10 below zero for the mountains. And this isn't a big wind or anything. And then potentially the single-digit wind chills for the first time on Monday morning. So that is going to be quite chilly, and with temperatures in the teens, that means the mountains have a chance at the single digits. So I would not be surprised, just because of the chilliness of this factor, that maybe there's more 2-hour delays that we have, especially for the mountains and the foothills when all is said and done. That Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast, you can see that cool down back to 39 for your Monday, and then only 19 degrees on Monday. The way that I can show you a better look at this is over the last 10 days, we've been 50 or below, as I mentioned. Well, we're now starting to see at least some minor spikes up to 54, up to 60. So we only have one day Saturday, and that's an easy choice for pick of the week, that it actually feels more like late November. Meanwhile, most of November, it felt more like October. So it's all backwards. Meanwhile, once we hit that bottom on your Monday, we will eventually get back to where we're going to be on Wednesday, coming up to day 18 of December. So that's 1 week before Christmas on that Thursday. And then the way that the long range models are trending, I'm talking about 14 days plus, we actually might have a warm-up for Christmas, believe it or not. So what people don't want to hear, people always want to have that white Christmas. Well, it's not really trending in that good direction. But luckily for our lows and our highs, I think Monday is going to be the absolute bottom for both of them. And then as far as our precipitation chances, I showed you that we have one on Sunday. But then outside of that, we might have another one heading into the following Wednesday, but nothing too crazy. So Becca did a great job earlier on our Weather IQ talking about the biggest snowstorms that we've had in December history. December history has some big snowstorms, but actually most of the snow that we see as far as the snowstorm variety is more so in February. That's kind of the hot month as far as snow goes, but then also within the top 5, January and March, where early March is always kind of a sneaky window that we've had some big ones throughout history. So just kind of keep that in mind, but I want to end this right here leading up to Christmas. The history of White Christmas is very, very minimal for us here in the Charlotte area. By the way, the technical meteorological definition for a White Christmas is to actually have some sort of measurable snow. So it needs to accumulate. Now, for us, if you just see it in general, sometimes we'll throw it in there. But I'm just letting you know, as far as measurable snowfall goes, it's only been 4 times in history, dating back to 1878, that we've even amounted a snow accumulation on Christmas, around Christmas, going into Christmas. Whereas back in 1947, we had close to 6 inches. 1880, of course, we remember these years, right? But the most recent one was 2010, that at the end of the day, into the 26, we had 0.4. So that was the only time that we've had it in recent memory. That means it's just less than a 2% chance for us to have a White Christmas. Meanwhile, there's been 6 times in history that it's been 70 degrees, and the way things are trending, looks to be a warmer Christmas than what we're dealing with right now over the next 10.
Oh, okay. So you think no snow?
Oh, no. Like, it is trending the absolute wrong definition for that way.
Palm trees. Then.
Yeah. Hey, anything can happen. Anything can happen. But if I were to, the way things are trending, since we're so cold right now, things usually have to catch up. I bet you it'll be warmer than normal around Christmas time, which people don't like.
Balance that out again.
Equilibrium.